All right, number 1, what was the clue word? Proportional. And to be proportional, what are the 2 requirements? Say it, I know y'all know it. What are the 2 requirements to be proportional on a graph? It has to be straight or crooked. So it has to be straight, write that down. And one more requirement, it has to pass through 0. All right, so what was the correct answer? Which one was a straight line that passes through 0? C. Now, on your test tomorrow, you need to read, does it say proportional or does it say non-proportional? Proportional will pass through 0, non-proportional will not. Okay, turn to number 2. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to set this one up on your own, and I'm setting a timer. To set this one up on your own, you got to read that the clue word says greatest to least, and what are you going to change them all to? Decimals. So get those calculators out and change it to mode float 2.
I'm surprised this thing hasn't died sooner. I've been using it for
Quickly, you should be changing them all to decimals. Remember, you can be in mode float 2 if you want it to look like money. Okay, so if I go to mode float 2, it's going to make it look like money. How do I change a percent to a decimal? Divided by 100. So 155 divided by 100 is $1.55. You should have written that either right above or right below it. All right, 24/15. How do I put that in? Alpha y equals option 1. 24 on top, 15 on bottom. Once I hit enter, remember it's only going to simplify it. So what do I do next? Math. Option 2 for decimal, enter. So $1.60. What did I forget right here? I forgot my negative sign. Yeah, that's important. Is this one already look like money? Yes, so I'm going to leave that one alone. And then this one I'm going to use alpha y equals option 2, 1 2/3. If you put that negative sign in, then that's great. I mean, you can do that, -1 2/3. Math, decimal, enter. I owe $1.67. All right, are we going from biggest to smallest or smallest to biggest? All right, biggest means positives. So I only want to look at this number and this number. Which number is the biggest? $1.65. So out, out, out. How easy was that? Super easy. All right, go on to number 3. I'm going to give you about a minute and a half to read it and do it on your own. Get out of mode float 2. Go back to just mode float. When I look up and you're not participating, then you can just leave. Thank you. All right, what mode did y'all go to for this one? How did you know that? What was your clue word? Scientific notation. So you go to mode, make sure you're out of float, and go to SCI. Hit enter, and then just clear out. All you have to do is type that number in. So 0 point, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. 2, 5, 1. Hit enter, and that is your answer. The only thing I don't write is the E. What goes instead of the E? Times 10 with an exponent of -6. So the answer was A. Very good. Number 4, I'm going to give you a second to read it, and then we're going to pick the clue word together. Everybody's reading number 4 on your own. What's the clue word on number 4? Varies directly. And when you see those words, you make a... All right, go. On your own, make your box. Okay, when you made your box, what did you label them? Y, N, because that's what they were comparing. Y and X. Okay, so what's going to go right here? 35, because they said Y is 35. What's going to go right here? 2N 1/2. Then it says, what is Y when the value of X is 3 1/4? So where will 3 1/4 go? In the bottom for X. And this is your question mark that you don't know. How do you solve this problem? Cross multiply. So I can't multiply this way because I don't have two numbers. So I cross multiply these two. Make sure that you are back to normal mode, because if I put in anything right now, what mode am I going to be in? SCI, it's not going to help me. So I got to go back to normal. Hit enter. So I'm doing 35 times alpha y equals option 2, 3 and 1/4. Okay? Then I'm going to divide by this number. Now, you don't have to go re-put that in. You can simply hit the division sign, and it says take my answer and divide by 2.5. 2 and 1/2. And that's my answer. 91/2. But do any of those answers look like that? So what can I do with this number? Change it to a decimal. Math, decimal, enter. So my answer should be 45.5. That means the whole number is 45. Well, A is 113, B is 26, C is 227. D's whole number is 45, so it has to be D. Are y'all good? All right, move on to number 5. I'm going to give you 1 minute to read it and answer it on your own, and let's see how you do. Remember the chart that I taught you guys. Everybody should be reading. Pick your answer that you think it is. All right, let's look at the chart that I taught you guys. So if you need to, for study purposes, you can draw the chart at the bottom of your page if you want to. All numbers are either rational or irrational. If they're rational, they might be an integer, and if they're an integer, they might be whole. If you know this table, it will help you answer that question. Which one of these answer choices would correctly interpret this chart? A. Why? Because real numbers is the big picture, and integers falls within that. Very good. Why is B wrong? Look at the picture I drew. What did they do wrong with B? Yeah, they flipped those two, and whole numbers is more specific than integers, so that's wrong. C, they said real numbers is the little picture, and D, they said real numbers and whole numbers can never be the same. What's the only two things that can never be the same? Rational and irrational. Very good. All right, number 6 is actually what we learned yesterday. I'll give you about a minute to set them up. What is your clue word, though? Right triangle and not. So anytime they say right triangle, you do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Are you solving, or are you just saying yes or no? Just saying yes or no. Go. All right, let's go over it. How would you set up F? 9 squared, come on, plus 40 squared equals 41 squared. So we're looking for the one that's not true. So 9 squared plus 40 squared, and then 41 squared. Do those equal? So that one is true, and we're looking for the one that's not. So let's go do G. How would I set it up? 5 squared plus 12 squared equals 13 squared. So I go type it in. 5 squared plus 12 squared and 13 squared. Were those equal? Yes, so that is true. Let's go to H. 12 squared plus 16 squared equals 20 squared. Was that true? So it has to be J, but I'll check it just in case. 3 squared plus 5 squared equals to 6 squared. Are those equal? No. So that will not make a right triangle. Okay, moving on. Number 7 is a slope and y-intercept problem. You have to take the answer choices and make them into y equals mx plus b. So write that right here. So look at choice F. It says the document originally had 0 pages and Katia added 4 pages each month. Y'all see that clue word? How would I make that in a y equals mx plus b? Y equals, which one gets the x? 4x plus 0. Now I want y'all to do that to G, H, and J. Go put them in y equals quickly. All right, how did you set up G? Y equals, which one had the clue word? So 3x plus, all right, letter H. Y equals 8.5x plus 0, and J. Y equals 3.5x plus 10. Now where can I go stick these in my calculator? In the Y equals button. Everybody grab your calculator. Go put in choice F. 4x plus 0. Where am I going to go to see if it matches this? Second graph or second table. Quickly, quickly. Okay, so I'm matching when x is 2, y is 17. Does it match? Yes or no? When x is 2, is y 17? No. And guys, y'all know y'all can tab and arrow down until you see what you want to see, right? So F is out. Let's go put in G. Go back to y equals. Clear that out. Put in 3x plus 11. Go to second graph. When x is 2, is y 17? Can y'all see my screen? When x is 2, is y 17? Yes. Now let's check the next one. When x is 4, is y 24? No, it's 23. So G is out. So now I go put in H. Y equals 8.5x plus 0. When x is 2, y is 17. Yes. When x is 4, y, nope, it's 34. So it has to be J, but I'm going to make sure. 3.5x plus 10. When x is 2, it's 17. When it's 4, it's 24. When it's 8, it's 38. So we are good to go. Is it very good? That's exactly how it is on the test tomorrow. You have to write the equation, stick it in y equals. Okay, everybody go to number 8. Put your calculator in mode float 2 if you need to. Turn this number into a decimal. I'm only going to give you like 30 seconds, so go quickly. Okay, you turned it into a decimal. What'd you get? The square root of 58 is 7.6. Yes? Okay, what does 7.6 fall on a number line? Between 7 and? So it has to be R or what? So I'm going to mark out Q and T. 7.6, is that really close to 7 or more in the middle? More in the middle, so my answer should be S, point S. So the answer was C. Okay, go do number 9. Highlight the clue word or circle it. Pick your answer that you think it is. All right, what was your clue word on number 9? Proportional. What did we learn on question 1? If it's proportional, it has to pass through 0, 0. Okay, well, did this pass through 0, 0? It passed through 0, negative 1, so can't be F. Look at G. Did this pass through 0, 0? So probably that one. Did this one pass through 0, 0? Nope, and nope. So the answer was G. Okay, number 10. What is your clue word? Proportional. So you have to set up the y equals mx plus b, and to be proportional, it cannot have a plus b. It has to be in this form, or you could say mx. No plus b. That's the biggest part. Go. All right, let's look at choice A. How would you write this? Y equals 12.5x plus 5. Does that have a plus B? So that is not proportional. Let's look at B. What do they both say? Per day? Per day. Do they match? So that's probably proportional. I'm just going to put a little check mark. Let's look at C. Per day, one-time fee. This would be y equals 305x plus 75. Does that have a plus B? So that's not proportional. This one says per day and a fee. So y equals 375x plus 65. Does that have a plus B? Why was B proportional? Because they both said per day. Okay, turn the page. Number 11. What's the clue word? Nope, right here. Slope. It wants you to find the slope. Then see which answer choice matches that slope. So do rise over run. Go quickly. All right, so you should have found the slope by doing rise over run. What was your rise? What was your rise? 2. What was your run? 5. Was it positive or negative? And which answer choice did y'all find that matched? Which one? J. Okay, I'm going to try J. So I put in alpha y equals -5 minus -3 over -7 minus -2. And he is correct. That matched. It was 2/5. So the answer was J. All right, number 12 should take you about 30 seconds. Your clue word is non-proportional. And we just talked about it. Okay, non-proportional means y equals mx plus b. It has to have the plus b. What's the only one that had it? G had a +1. All right, number 13 is really easy common sense, looking for slope and y-intercept. I'm going to give you about a minute and a half. Find the y-intercept first. It's easy. Okay, let's look at it. Where was it touching the y-axis? 1.5, right? 1.5. So I'm going to take off, this one says it touched at 2, and this one says it touched at 2. The next thing I'm going to do is find the slope, and you could have done rise over run, or you could have done the slope formula. I picked two dots that were closer together because that was a lot more to count. Would I get the same answer? Yes. My rise was 1, 2, 3, and my run was 1, 2, 3, 4, and was it going down for negative? Yes, so the answer was F. All right, on number 14, I want y'all to read it, and I want you to draw a picture. Okay, read it, look at the shape it's talking about, and draw a picture. Go. Everybody should be drawing a picture. Okay, what were your clue words, number 1? If you read this question, you say, you know what, my teacher taught me that clue word means something. I don't think we put that clue word on there. We're going to add this clue word, but it's this one. I don't think we put it on our star chart yet. The word is diagonal. Okay, it's going to be a clue word for Pythagorean theorem. All right, what should you have drawn? A rectangle. So any rectangle will do. And then what did it say its dimensions are? 36 and 20. And you could put those pretty much anywhere because it's a rectangle, so it could go with either side. And y'all know what a diagonal is? It's from corner to corner. If I was to draw a line from this corner to this corner, what did I really just make? A right triangle. And so this has been on the STAR test every year, and they want you to see if you will take the time to draw the picture and see the right triangle. All I'm really solving for is C. Okay, so A squared, write it down, plus B squared equals C squared. And you can do either one as A and B, it doesn't matter. 36 squared plus 20 squared equals C squared. Do I add or do I subtract? I heard one person. Do I add or do I subtract? Add these two together. Once I have this answer, what do I do? Square root it. So second square root 1696. And that's my answer. 41.18. So which one's the closest? I'm showing my work so that you'll have something to look at. And the closest answer was B. Okay, the last question we did yesterday, the clue word is distance, and distance means Pythagorean theorem. So go do that one. I'll give you about 2 minutes. All right, it said that you have a point at -3.5. Did y'all remember my trick? I told y'all you didn't even have to plot the point. These would be your side lengths. Y'all remember that or no? Right? So if I go 4 right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, that's going to be my side length of 4. And 9 down, that's going to be my side length of 9. So I really didn't even have to draw that picture. I could have gone down here and just said 4 and 9. And then this is my side C. All right, so a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 4 squared plus 9 squared equals c squared. Do I add or subtract? Add. 4 squared plus 9 squared is 97. What do I do to that answer? Square root it. And the closest answer, it said pick the closest answer. So 9.8. Which one's closest to 9.8? 10. Okay, you are going to go put your answers into the Google Classroom. So basically, if you followed along, you got a free 100. This is your study guide for tonight, so you don't have to turn it into the box, but you do have to put your answers in.